All right, so I felt like it was important to go ahead and do a video today. I was gonna wait till tomorrow, kind of the end of the week, but Tilray and the marijuana stocks just had a massive sell-off today. Now, yesterday, I'd said, and we can look through it again. I'm gonna look through it real quick. So here, this was yesterday's candle. Everything was trending up. Nothing here on the CMF that gave us a sign that, I say that, but I also did say that we had some divergence, and it started showing up on the 1 hour, and it did. Right, this is kind of flat. These prices are kind of. It's. I mean, you technically. You wouldn't draw it here. No, you would, right? You would kind of leave this one out, but you want to kind of line up your candles here. So it'd be here. It would be even more extreme here, or if you drew it here, that's bearish divergence, right? So we saw it show up on the hourly, and I said I was really interested in what the first hour of trading was going to do because I was expecting a 9. We didn't get a 9. We got a sell-off immediately. The market opened down. Let's see, how much did we open down? So the market opened from the close. It opened 14% down. Okay, so once I saw that, I had drawn Fibonacci's on here yesterday, and I said, we ran up so much, I said 52 is probably a good area of support. Now let's look at whenever this took off. So we took off essentially here, right, on the 8th. So we had 2 days of 90% run up, right? It was a 90% run up. If you would have got in, say, here, and you had this day, that's over 100%. So you had 90% run up in 2 days. Now, whenever assets run like this, it, like I said, man, it just ran, it just, it went through $40, no problem. It went to 60, found resistance. We did get, what was the high here? We did get 67, and post-market we got up to 75, kind of where this was. We didn't get it. I said, I think whenever the market would open, this next day would be, could be a good, at that hour we would potentially see like a massive run up and then sell off. And even whenever we closed, on balance volume was still high. So this was not diverging, but the CMF was, right? Let's look at regular volume. Even though I said I don't look at, even regular. This would have, yeah, volume was decreasing, but my on balance volume, which I put a little bit more weight in, was saying that we could still go up. Let's look at the daily. The daily was clearly outside of the Bollinger Band, and I noted that and said this was a reversal candle, and it is. But I said in post-market, it was kind of ignoring it. But I don't put much weight in pre- and post-market prices. Sometimes they hold, sometimes they don't hold. So this one did not hold. Everything was up. Everything in the marijuana sector was up. So initially we opened up down, right? About 14%. So that automatically put me in an area where I'm like, okay, I need to watch this. Okay. So I was starting to see where these lines started to trend down basically immediately whenever the market opened. So you can start looking at like areas of kind of where price found support previously, especially in these big run-ups, right? So, my TD sequential said I'm overextended, high probability that we can get to 27. It was also, we're watching the run-up. There's a lot of anticipation into this MORE Act bill getting passed. So, it went, back in 2018, it went from 29 all the way up to 309 weeks. If we could have kept this momentum, we could have saw the same price action. But I mean, the landscape's a little different, right? So I did see news that some of this was getting picked up on Wall Street bets. And I'm just going to be honest. If you're seeing something on Wall Street bets, you're probably late, especially if there's been such a big price run up. So personally, I would advise not to be there. I'm not there. I'm not looking and basing my trades on any form. You shouldn't really base your trades on what another trader's doing. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to show ways to interpret price action and chart using different indicators in order to kind of display on how you can enter trades, exit trades, what you need to be looking for. And this is honestly, I mean, the setup for this, it ran up 2 days, massive returns. But the setup for this was all the way in October, which is whenever I started to scale in my positions. So for me, my average in was around 11. I started initially coming in at 7. I sold some here and there, but then re-entered as it showed strength. So for me, this drop is very large, and some of the profits came off the table, but overall, the trade was still extremely successful because the average in was at around 11. Still up over 400% on this, 300% 4x. So, but what I really want to show is, okay, so here I started looking at this. I was like, okay, here's an area of support on this run up. It ran up, sold off here. So you could have scaled out right around here. Next is this gap area. So if it reaches this gap area, here was sold off, found support. Here, people sold. So this is like this general area between 47 and 45 is an area where if price gets there and fails to hold it, you could sell. So there was another area for taking profits. And then if you would have entered back here at $19, $20 based on this 30 simple moving average strategy, you take out the rest of everything that you have right here at 39. Now, if you bought on this day, especially whenever it ran up to like 60, say if you bought here, you had a nice big 50% return. I mean, right when the market opened, you're probably gonna just go ahead and take profits. I mean, let's see if we can be a little bit. I mean, you're still up 29%, right? But I'm gonna try to trade this on the hourly. So again, if I would have entered here, I'm looking at support levels from here. So at the bare minimum, I would have started taking profits, taking things off of the table once this hit 50, 52 area or 50 area. And that even matches with the Fibonacci. Fibonacci being there's support here at 52. I would say if this, would wick down to like 50, I'm taking everything off the table. Especially if I entered on this day, I got to close, say at 42, I'm getting out at 50, right? Which would be here, 19%. That's still a tremendous return. So you have to, if you're buying something, you have to go in with a plan as to where I want to exit. So, if I'm going off the 30 simple moving averages, average strategy, I'm 100% out of this. So I can pull that up and you can see what that return would have been. Let me just adjust this real quick. All right. So right now, this strategy is giving you 654% net. The list of the trades, our latest trade. I wish this went top to recent to oldest, but it goes oldest to recent. That trade would have warranted you 102%. You would have entered here, right there, like I said. Actually, I thought it was like $19, $20, but it was actually, I weighed a candle, but you don't necessarily have to. So you would have gotten it at 18.80, and you would have exited at 38.15. You would have made a return of 102%. So yeah, not bad for, what is this, 10 days, 100% in 10 days. So I just wanted to go over that. I felt like I needed to. You need to have a plan whenever you go into a trade. You can't just go in with no plan. Well, I don't know what's the saying. If you're not planning, I don't remember the trade. I don't remember the saying. Something like, if you have no plan, you're planning for failure, or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. I just need to rewrite this code and make this the 30 MA that I like. That's simple. I'm gonna do that actually. Yeah, this one changed too. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make my own. But yeah, so there you go. It's down. We have TD sequential areas that didn't get retested. I'm looking at 27. In these run-ups, and I'll pull up GameStop real quick. Maybe it's a good example. I don't know. This is on the fly. You kind of get a drop and then a secondary high. So maybe we could come back into 52, and then if it does find support there at 52, that would support the idea of finding a support area at, this Fibonacci level. But this candle is not a nice candle. I mean, it just ran up and sold off. Some people are very upset. We're basically at prices that we saw 2 days ago. So, 2 days ago, everyone was super excited that we were at 30, and now 2 days later, everyone's super sad, especially if you got in here and you just didn't get out. You're super sad that we're at 30. So that's like a common saying in Bitcoin is like, oh yeah, Bitcoin dropped. We haven't seen these prices since last week, or we haven't seen these prices since Monday or whatever. It's basically, we haven't seen prices this low since the 8th. So what is this? What's today? Today's Thursday. We haven't seen prices this low since Monday. But you have to have a plan when you're going to trade. I'll look at Sundial because that's another one that's on Wall Street Bets, and I'm saying, man, I would almost tell people that if it's on Wall Street Bets, stay away from it. And if you are considering getting into it, if you make a profit, you should start looking for exits because, and I saw, a lot of things. A couple of my buddies were sending me like it's going to be the next GameStop. Man, a lot of these forums and stuff like that, they just feed off of one of humans. A lot of this trading is human psychology. So, they feed off of the hope of some of you making a lot of money on trading or on some sort of investment, and that's almost a fatal flaw in trading is that hope or hopium is not a trading strategy. So you can't play into that narrative or that human psychology instant or programming to just be so hopeful. In trading, you have to be systematic. You have to have a plan. If you're going in with a plan, you're going in to fail. So, but also another part of the psychology part is like something will dip or like as price goes up, no one really asks questions. Everyone's happy and excited and making money. No one's asking any questions as to when this train's going to stop rolling. There's just so much euphoria and excitement, and everyone's a genius whenever a price is going up. Whenever price falls, that's whenever you really know who has a plan and who is prepared for this. So it's like if you see a big price drop, it's like, well, what happened? What's going on? Like something had to happen, but that's not necessarily the case. Here it's just profit taking. It's overbought. You can only put so much money into something. Something can only run up so much until people start to reach an area where they consider taking profits, and then people start taking profits, and that just cascades down. The forums on Wall Street Bets, some of those guys know how to trade. Some of those guys know what they're doing. But if you're just following, a lot of those followers are just they're what you call weak hands. They're not going in with a plan. They're spooked. Humans are not necessarily really good. They're not high tolerance for, people have different risk, but most people don't have high tolerance for risk. Risk is just not something that comes naturally to people. So you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy when you're going into this. So tomorrow, I mean, look at this. This is at 70. It didn't close there. We either bounce. If this opens flat, you're most likely going to see another big sell-off. You're probably going to close this gap to about 175. So, yeah, I mean, last 2 days was amazing. There's a 9 here, probably 175, I'm going to say. But, hey, I still think long term, I'm going to say long term. I'm going to say that I still think this year is going to be a big year for marijuana stocks. It has been a big year already. You can't judge the run that this sector had on 2 days. You know, like I said, we're at prices we haven't seen 2 days since 2 days ago. So, you know, yeah, we're gonna do some price discovery. This was obviously unsustainable for the run up it had the past 2 days. There's gonna be some price discovery. You know, we could have, you know, a retest right here, consolidation. This would be very nice, right at 30, retest consolidation, and then, you know, let it be boring for a couple of weeks. Price goes up. Price goes up, floats around. Maybe we hit this 67 again, get a sell off again. Maybe then really find support at 52, and then, you know, we launch from there and go higher later this year, later in a couple of weeks maybe. You know, trading's dynamic; it's not static. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go over Bitcoin again, because yesterday I did say that I had taken some profits taken off the table. But if we go, I'll just update this real quick on the fly. Not 3. And then I want my colors that I like. So if you have default settings and indicators that you haven't used in TradingView and they put out an update, it's going to overwrite and refer back to whatever the source code had initially had as far as the default, and then you have to go back and do this. But moving averages are easy. I'm just going to rewrite it, and with these with the numbers and the color that I write, I'll post it on TradingView as free. But here we go. So I took some profits yesterday. Took some off the table. I said the reason why we had this larger drop here, right here at 45,674, is where I kind of took some, you know, short trade off the table. Took some profits. We had a 5. Here was an area of, you can kind of see these were peaks. This was flat. I kind of, we can go on the CMF, and this is kind of where it showed that you were getting a reversal. We had a 5, 6, 7. I figured we would get a 9 and kind of back here at this 43 area. That didn't happen. We got a rally, and you can see it in the CMF. So as price was going down, right here, as price was going down, the CMF, actually it's probably better to draw it here. The CMF was starting to build, which means that there's, you know, buyers coming in. And actually, this would have been flat. So here, flat price with a rising indicator gives you a bullish divergence. And I always have to joggle my mind so I can make sure I say this properly. So yeah, this is bullish, just regular bullish. It's a bullish divergence, flat price with indicator going up. So I saw that. I saw the CMF rising. Initially, what caught me was this. But it truly was just flat price with CMF going up, which is bullish. And we saw support and price started rising. So you could have re-entered right here if you would have waited a candle, but you didn't have to. Re-enter right here at say 46.3, and you currently be up right around, you know, 3-4%. But hey, you're not trying to, you know, every every trade isn't out of the ballpark. It's the goal is to be profitable, not to be, you don't have to hit grand slams all the time. So let's see what the unbalanced volume was showing. Unbalanced volume was kind of flat, but I saw it initially whenever I pulled up the CMF. So yeah, that's it. When we hit we hit a new all-time high, by the way. It's almost like we're looking at these prices and it's just like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going up. But this run, amazing. Let's see what we have here. 7. That's a reversal candle right here. So this is a doji candle, reversal candle. And yeah, so we can have, a retracement back here to the breakout. Here's a dip, and we broke the prior 9. Did you have to wait, though? Could we have seen or set up? Nah, because the dip wasn't, that dip was earlier, right? But the breakout, we had the 9. We came above it. Breakout. Yeah, so you still would have been in if you would have been trading on the daily, but on the 4-hour, 8. This is kind of the same thing, right? But it's just on a smaller time frame, right? Big V pattern breakout up. Oh yeah, this is a flag, or yeah, this is a flag. So this is another trading pattern here. Right here. Let me get rid of this real quick. Right here. This is how someone would have drawn it. Kind of, not perfect, but, and then, yeah, that's what this is. And then they're going to put a price target of the breakout here. I don't really like these. I'm not going to say we're going to 54,000. If anything, I'm just going to say that this is a channel, a downward channel that got broken. Right here. Kind of. And then our price target is somewhere roughly like this, which is kind of where we got. Right around 48.6. Where do we go? 48.9, almost 49,000. But we do have a reversal candle on the 4-hour and on the daily. We have a 9 here. I need to draw that. Right there. Oh no, it got retested. We're good. Yeah, so we're on a 7. We'll watch it. We'll see. I think we're getting a little overbought, and I still think we're going to come down, but we'll see. I'm going to take what the chart gives me. I'm not going to force anything. And like I said, I had re-entered. I took some profits and then I re-entered. So I'm obviously think we're going to see some upside. And if we don't, and this looks like it's breaking down, hey, I made whatever 2% or something, right? If I came in here, 5. If I came in here on the high, I'm at 3. Okay, where would I really, if I wanted to take the profit before the moving average, where would that be? I would most likely take it somewhere around here, somewhere around 47.6, which would be soon. I don't like trading these smaller time frames. We had a 9, now we have a reversal. This looks like a range that's developing. So yeah, you would probably take it right here, right around 46. Once this breaks down, right here, 46. I would say 46,750. You could probably get out. If you're trying to look for a short trade, and that would give you, what would be the return? I'm not going to say you made a bunch of money. 1%. Sometimes that's the way trading works. There's scalpers, right? Scalping is a type of trading. Not something I usually like to do. I don't like to do it at all. I don't like I don't like doing that. Usually scalpers have large volume, or they're trading with leverage, or with a good bit of leverage. But I don't really like doing that. That's not the style that I like to do. Like, it's not the style of trading that I like to do. So, but I'm at a 7 with a reversal candle. We'll see what happens tomorrow. This is a new day. This is the beginning. Could we get a sell-off? What are my indicators telling me? I'll go to the CMF again, right? Because that showed me yesterday on a small time frame that we were getting some sell-off. This is flat. On the daily, it's not going to really show anything. It's sell-off, right? There's sell-off. Flat price with this is the opposite of the flat price. You know, so if you're trying to draw divergences, I'm going to do a video on divergences. I did one on candles. I did one on channels. I'm going to do one on divergences. So you kind of have like, it's not perfect. Yeah, it is here. So I got flat price. I mean, so if you're looking for something bearish, you're going to draw it from the top end of price. If you're looking for a bullish divergence, you always draw it from the bottom end of the price. Bearish top end of the price, bullish bottom end of the price. So if I draw this here, that's bearish, I'm going to start drawing this here on the top end of my indicator as well. Right? So I have flat price with trending down indicator or oscillator, and that's bearish. So we saw it here, flat price on the bottom, right there, that's bullish, flat price to right here, that's bearish. And we can almost say we just drew our range. We just drew a range, right? We just drew a channel. And I like channels. I like them because they're distinct. They're not really up for interpretation. The lines are horizontal. I can't, do some funky thing and kind of maybe I get a wick and I get a body of a candle. They're a little more uncontested because they're clear. They're horizontal lines. So there we go. We got a range. What's our range? 44 to 48. What's my target if I break out of this range? Right there. $51,000, somewhere around there. 52,000. Does that match the yeah, that matches the 4-hour too, actually. So I actually like this channel. I don't like to draw a lot of things on the hourly. Sometimes it's useful, but if you're looking for longer trends or swing trades, you want to use your 4-hour and your daily, and your hourly can reinforce your thought process. But so yeah, there we go. There's our range. Man, this is actually good. So we're on the upper end of the range. I'd almost like to see. I mean, I say I like to see 3 touches, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so, man, we could break out tomorrow. We have our CMF saying that's not the case. But we're going to see. We could just be in a range. Where would I think to take a trade to be more sure of myself? If the body of this candle closes above the high of the previous candle, right? So 48,690, I can go ahead and take a trade and say we're most likely going 50 plus. 50, between 50 and 52. All within, short time frame. Probably the day or a day and a half. How many hours is this? This is, we got 2 hours, say 3 hours left, 4, 7, 8, 9. So 12 hours plus 3 hours. So 15 hours. So in about 15 hours, we could go, which is less than a day. We can see a 9. We would see the 9 at tomorrow morning. Yeah, we'd see the 9 tomorrow morning. It would open at 6 a.m. and then close at 10. So we'll see. We'll see. But all right, so that's it. Marijuana stocks. Exciting 2 days, and then not exciting today. And then Bitcoin constantly going. I mean, let me look at the S&P real quick. There was a comment that, we're on an 8. 9. Oh, I mean, we had a dip, but look at this. I mean, this is consolidating around the 9, which is actually good. Weekly, 2. We had, the pullback. We had the 9, pullback, retest, higher. RSI's really not broken out yet. No, man, we're good. I don't see any concern for the stock market. Yeah, we had a pullback, but I don't see any concern. Nothing that's telling me, hey, you need to get out. There's no counts, there's no patterns other than new higher highs, right? Man, this is crazy. So we'll see. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching.